last 24 hours. Powered by Yiddish24, provided to you by the Kleegr.
Good morning and Agitni Erev Shabbos Kodesh. Today is Friday and it's Parshas Tetzaveh Yid Uda Tufshin Pai Vuv on Edge, February 27th, Lemes Buram 2026. My name is Gershy Schwarcz and I'm your host on Edge. Another war broke out. The world is going crazy between Pakistan and Afghanistan this time, the Taliban. Yes, early Friday morning, Pakistani fighter jets launched massive airstrikes against major cities in Afghanistan, including the capital city of Kabul, Kandahar and Paktia. The fighting started after a series of deadly suicide bombings from the Taliban inside Pakistan. Pakistani officials say they have clear proof that the Islamic terrorists, the Taliban, who carried out the bombings, were operating out of Afghanistan. After Afghan forces attacked Pakistani border guards on Thursday night, Pakistan struck back. Pakistan's defense minister Khawaja Asif spoke clearly about the situation. He said, "Our patience has reached its limit, and now it is open war between you and us and you, whatever." Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif added that his military has the full capabilities to crush any aggression. Both sides are reporting heavy casualties. A military spokesperson for Pakistan claims their airstrike hit 22 targets, killing 274 members of the Taliban. On the other side, the Afghan Defense Ministry claims they fought back on the ground, killing 55 Pakistani soldiers and capturing 2 military bases. Despite the heavy fighting, the Taliban is now asking to talk. Their spokesperson, with his name Zabihullah Mujahid, said on Friday that they want to resolve the conflict through dialogue. Speaking of dialogue, Iran and America are still at it. They're talking and talking and talking and not getting anywhere with it. Well, we all know what that means. Yes, now, I want to talk to you about your Shtreimul. If you have a Shtreimul, you should know that there's a company named Renew. Renew is the place to go when you want to renew your Shtreimul. This week, Parshas Kisisu is offering a special, and I'll play it to you, so you'll... Yes, a speciale Early Bird Special von meiner Onetz-Tiere. Oib callst dir an Parshas Kisisu zu bestellen. Versei werden für Peisach, aber die callst auf Parshas Kisisu in the Mentions on Edge bekommst die 10% Arup. Der ist 10, no Parshas Kisisu, du callst dir an, ich gechillig, wenn du bestellst es auf, aber 10% Arup bekommst die und Mentions die on Edge. So basically, in other words, you saw the number, all right, and you can call them, you get 10% off. All right, promo code on Edge. The nuclear talks between the United States and Iran failed in Geneva yesterday. American negotiators demanded that Iran hand over 10,000 kilograms of enriched uranium, but Iran refused, obviously. Well, Abbas Araghchi is very, very positive about it. An Iranian leader, Ayatollah, like last time he said, the talks are going amazing. We always hear it, the talks are going amazing and making progress. We keep on hearing this. An Iranian leader, Ayatollah, his name is Ayatollah Khatami, that's what his name is, said that the regime will never agree to stop its nuclear program. In the meanwhile, judges in Iran are executing individuals who are opposing the regime. Now, the American military is preparing for action. Reports confirm that President Donald J. Trump has a new military drone unit called Task Force Scorpion ready to strike anytime. The Pentagon also continues to move massive firepower into the region. The USS Gerald Ford aircraft carrier has arrived in Israel, and dozens of United States fighter jets are positioned nearby in the airport. People have actually arrived or flown nearby in airplanes, regular commercial flights, and have seen from the windows lined up American fighter jets. The threat of war is causing panic. The State Department is telling Americans not to travel to Israel or that region. American Ambassador Mike Huckabee even told the United States embassy workers in Israel that they should leave the country today. At the same time, China and Canada are urging their citizens to get out of Iran immediately. Diplomats are making one last push for peace. Well, let's listen to this. The foreign minister of Oman is in Washington today for a surprise meeting with Vice President J.D. Vance to try and stop a war. Vice President Vance says, well, military strikes are still an option, but he promised there is no chance the United States will get dragged into a years-long war. The Hezbollah terror group in Lebanon said, well, out of fear, that they will stay out of a fight if the United States only does limited strikes on Iran. However, the situation in Lebanon is, well, still very violent. Reports say the Israeli military just bombed 8 Hezbollah military compounds in eastern Lebanon to stop the terrorists from rebuilding their weapons. Inside Iran, the pressure is also growing. A new explosion broke out in the city of Qom, it's called. Iranian officials are blaming a gas leak. Well, like they always do, right? But the blast is just the latest in a long string of mysterious fires and explosions, gas leaks across the country. Do not spark conspiracy theories. I always tell it to myself. Okay. For the first time in 25 years, a major poll shows more Americans sympathize with the Palestinians than with Israel. That's a poll. The new Gallup polls show 41% side with the Palestinians, while 36% support the Israelis. All right, I guess poll numbers go up and down, but Israel's survival has never depended on popularity contests, at least that's what they say. Anyway, Washington is facing a massive political earthquake as the files from the Epstein scandal becomes public. Former President Bill Clinton testified yesterday in New York about the documents and said, yes, he was in court, testified about the documents. This comes just hours after Hillary Clinton sat for a chaotic 7-hour questioning at her home as well. During the meeting, she insisted under oath that she and her husband knew nothing about the crimes he committed. Meanwhile, the document released has sparked arrests and resignations around the entire world. In England, Prince Andrew was arrested by police. The leaders from Harvard and the World Economic Forum have also resigned. At the same time, the Department of Justice is being accused of hiding files related to President Trump, though officials say he has already answered thousands of questions on the matter. Let's look at policies in England, shall we? In the UK, a plumber running for the Green Party, just won a major election, taking a seat that was controlled by the Labour Party for years. Prime Minister Keir Starmer's party fell to the third place now. Observers are also reporting serious voter fraud, claiming they saw multiple people crowding into voting booths at the same time in heavily Muslim neighbourhoods. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, who won the election this Sunday, brought his daughter to a massive military parade in Pyongyang to show off his nuclear weapons. Kim used the event to send a message to the United States. He said the two countries should get along, but only if Washington officially recognizes North Korea as a nuclear power. Experts say Kim's daughter is likely being trained to take over the country one day. President Donald J. Trump is heading to Texas to support 3 Republicans who are all running for the same United States Senate seat. Listen to this. The president has essentially endorsed all 3 men for the upcoming primary election. At the same time, the president is pushing a major new law to change how American elections work. The legislation is called SAVE Act. The SAVE Act. We spoke about it several times on Edge. It would require everyone to show actual proof of citizenship. Well, before they can actually register to vote. Now, however, the bill is facing a tough fight in the Senate, where some lawmakers, Democrats, are threatening to block it. In response, the president's allies are reportedly, the MAGA movement, discussing a backup plan. Reports say they are looking at declaring a national emergency to this. This would allow the president to bypass Congress, mandate voter identification, and take control of the voting rules before the midterm elections happen. They're trying everything, I guess. Speaking of everything, trying everything, New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani traveled to Washington for a surprise meeting with President Trump in the Oval Office. Listen to this. The meeting comes just days after the president spoke about the mayor during his State of the Union address. In his speech, Trump called Mamdani the new communist mayor of New York City, but the president quickly added, "Bad policy, but nice guy," and said the two speak to each other almost every day. Now, during their White House meeting, the two leaders discussed a massive proposal to build 12,000 new apartments in New York City. Reports say the president was enthusiastic about the project. The artificial intelligence company, Anthropic, the one who owns Claude, is officially refusing to back down from the United States military. Remember the other day we reported that Pete Hegseth called the CEO of Anthropic to come down for a very stern meeting, not over a cup of coffee, but a very important one? Well, Anthropic put out a report saying that it still wants to work with the military, and it will only do so if its strict safety rules stay in place. The Pentagon said Anthropic, pronounce it right, is putting the safety of the nation at risk just to personally control the military. If no deal is reached by Friday evening deadline, the military plans to cancel its contracts and officially declare the American tech company a supply chain risk. The mayor, Daniel Lurie of San Francisco, was holding an event to announce a new economic plan when protests nearby started chanting "Tax the Rich." Well, suddenly, a woman was caught on video shouting "Tax Israel" and "Tax the Jews." Jewish leaders say that those words shouted on the street are deeply alarming, and that's why he condemned it. All right, now let's talk about protobytes. I spoke about Kleegr right now. Protobyte. Call 347-354-1237. And that's for your programming, software engineering, websites. You won't regret it. And thank you so much for the Mishlach Manas, by the way. I received it. They're very loyal. And they're very busy. Very, very busy. You know what they're busy doing? Helping customers, putting plans out for them. designing websites, and thanks to On Edge, they told me that, yes, people are coming from all over, but you should know, they're high in demand, and they're the greatest and the best at this. They're really good at what they do. YS Capital Group, well, Kleegr is the place to go. www.kleegr.com, and you can order yourself there a new transformation to your business. I don't have to say more, just find out more for yourself by calling them. Book your demo right now. Go to Kleegr.com, start the demo. And YS Capital Group, you can borrow money for investments. 718-831-2168. Rive Express is the company, the taxi that you should know. 845-622-1111, 845-254-1111. Okay, my friends, have yourselves a lechtige, wonderful Shabbos, and we'll see each other at Be'ezer Hashem Yisborach next week, okay? It's going to be Purim. I can tell you right now, I'm probably going to be on and off, so I don't know. But Motzei Shabbos, a brand new episode is coming, a very exciting one from the Chatzatzka Rebbe myself. It's going to be fun.
Your daily report of the news of the last 24 hours, powered by Yiddish24, provided to you by the Kleegr.